Alright guys, in today's lesson we're going to be looking at two-way tables, which is another way to take data and organize it, and then interpret it and find some probabilities based off of them. Alright, let's get started. To begin with, a two-way table shows the frequencies for two variables. The row is going to indicate one category, while the column is going to indicate a second category. So we're going to see how this is organized using our survey here. The question is, do you prefer pizza or burritos? So we have two categories, preferring pizza or burritos. Once we have that question answered, we have subcategories, which would be, do you like them with meat or do you like it vegetarian? So this question was sent out and we got a bunch of responses. We're going to look at those responses on the next slide and then use those to help fill out our two-way table. Alright, so here are our results. 120 students prefer burritos, 170 students prefer pizza, 70 students prefer a vegetarian pizza, 50 students prefer a meat burrito, and 90 total students were surveyed. So we're going to go ahead and take this information and use it to fill out our table. The total number of students, so our 190, is always going to be our far right corner here. So this is going to be 190. Okay, then we have the total number of burritos, which was 120. That's going to go down here. And the total number of pizzas was 170, so that is going to go here. So we can see so far the outside is always going to be our totals. We know pizza is this first column, so the total pizza is at the bottom. Burritos is the second column, so the total burritos is at the bottom as well. And then again, this corner is the total number of people. Okay, now we've got our inside information to fill out. We've got this 70 and this 50. So the 70 are people who like pizza but want it to be vegetarian. So we want to go to our pizza column and go down to the vegetarian option and put 70. And then for our burritos, we know that 50 students prefer burritos with meat. So we would go over to our burrito column, go to the meat section, and we know that has to be 50. Now we have some missing information, and we're going to use our columns here to help fill that out. If we know that there were 120 total burrito people, then we can do 120 minus 50 to fill out our gap here, and 120 minus 50 is going to be 70. So you know now that there were 70 people who liked vegetarian burritos. Using that same process, we know there were 170 people who preferred pizza. Of those 170, 70 of them like vegetarian burritos, which means that the remaining 100 are going to like them with meat. And again, I got that 100 by just doing 170 minus 7. Alright, for our rows here, if I want to figure out the total over here, I could just add the 100 and the 150, and I should get 150. And then for my other row, I would again add my two entries, so I would add 70 and 70 together, and I now have 140. Alright, so once again, just to kind of reiterate, when we have total values, they're going to be going down on the bottom. So the total number for our pizza was down the bottom, total number for burrito as well. And these inside numbers are for our subcategories. So if we know something about how they like the burrito or how they like the pizza, we use that information to help fill out the insides. Let's go ahead and check out another example. Alright, so here we have some information. Jasmine took a survey of her classmates about their video streaming preferences. She asked which streaming services they preferred and if they usually watch TV shows or movies. So we have some information that's been filled out. We're going to go ahead and interpret that and then use that to fill out our missing slots. So we know that there were 22 people who watch TV shows on Hulu, 3 people who watch movies on Hulu. So the question then is, how many total people watch Hulu? Well, we can see that is our row here. So I would add together our entries of 22 and 3, and I would get a value of 25 over here. Doing the same thing for Netflix, we know that there were 14 people who watched TV shows on Netflix, 7 people who watched movies on Netflix, so the total amount of Netflix watchers would be that 14 plus 7, which would give us 21. Alright, now we have some other questions. How many total people watch TV shows? So TV is our column category, and we would add the 22 and the 14 together to get the total number of TV watchers, and in this case we would get 36. And then last but not least, the movie watchers. Movies are again a column category. It's our second column here. We would add together the 3 and the 7, and we would get a total of 10 movie watchers. Alright, now for my last category here, the total number of people in the survey. I would do this one of two ways. We can add together our totals from the bottom here, which would be 36 plus 10, and that gets me 46. And I also want to double check to make sure if I add together my totals for my column, I get the same thing. So 25 plus 21 is again going to be 46. And now I know that I've done this correctly. Okay, let's go ahead and interpret some of these on the next slide. Alright, so now we have some numbers to interpret. The first number we want to interpret is 22. So when we're interpreting our numbers, we want to figure out what row and what column that number is in. 22 is in the TV show column, and it's in the Hulu row, which means that these are the two categories that number represents. So there are 22 people who watch TV shows through Hulu. That's what that number would mean. There are 3 people, so that would be in our movie column and our Hulu row. So again, 3 people that watch movies on Hulu. What I'd like you guys to do is go ahead and pause this video and write down your interpretations for the next 4. So the 14, the 46, the 21, and the 10. And then come back and check your answers to see how you did. Let's go ahead and check out our answers here. We already discussed the 22 and the 3. So if we look at our 14, 14 is going to be in the TV show column and the Netflix row. So then there are 14 people who watch TV on Netflix. The 46 is going to be down at the bottom right corner. This is always the total number of people in the survey, which is what our answer says. For 21, we can see 21 is a total, and it's just a total of people who watch Netflix. So that is our answer for number 21. And then lastly for the 10 total people watch movies. I know that because it's the total for the movie column. Alright, for our next question here, your friend is trying to decide between buying a subscription to Netflix or Hulu. You know your friend loves to watch movies more than TV, so make a recommendation based off the feedback. Well, if you look at our feedback here, there were only 3 people who watched movies on Hulu, whereas there were 7 people who watched movies on Netflix. So there's a larger portion of people using Netflix to watch movies on Hulu. So for this answer, I would, again based off the feedback from the survey, I would choose Netflix. And again, I would choose Netflix because more people use Netflix to watch movies than use Hulu to watch movies. Alright guys, that completes our notes for this section. Go ahead and get working on the homework, and we'll see you next time.